So why is not saving them a problem? Why should we address this? One, it's bad publicity. What we found in Austin is that the citizens overwhelmingly wanted to save the animals. And they didn't care about all the internal politics, all of the reasons why. They just wanted the animals saved. It leads to poor morale. Volunteers and shelter employees, they don't want to have to euthanize these animals either. And then also, I think that animals, every living being, their strongest instinct is to survive. And I think that's a good reason to try to save them. And companion animals are becoming more and more valuable. So the change in focus of working with inputs, which is spay-neuter, we were measuring inputs as if that was our performance measure to try to make the city euthanize fewer animals. And the inputs were spay and neuter, rabies vaccine clinics, wellness clinics, microchipping, all of these things that lead to a better community and a better lifestyle for animals, but don't actually target the endpoint that we were looking for, which was to euthanize fewer animals. And the city wanted to do that, but we weren't measuring what would actually get us to the end. And spaying and neutering, obviously, it has a huge effect. Austin has spayed and neutered over 150,000 animals at least, and we're seeing that there are fewer and fewer stray dogs out in our population, fewer and fewer stray cats, and I think that's probably related. But it's hard, again, pretty hard to measure. And it doesn't help the ones that are already at the shelter. So having that focus is good, but it has to be paired with how do you get the animals out also. And this is why we know we can save them. This is just a quick slide on people are becoming more aware of shelter animals and the reasons to adopt and to save them, to save a life. And that means there's more opportunities for us to encroach on that 70% that are not adopting from shelters and rescue groups. The thing that we found politically, which is really interesting, is that the politicians love this issue and will help raise money for cities because it crosses every political barrier out there. And so they can appeal to the animal groups and reach everybody. And so that was a real eye-opener for me because that was a way for us to go to the city and ask for more funding to try to save more animals. And I don't believe that in the U.S. that there's probably any community that doesn't want to see this happen. We started looking at statistics. Again, how do we know we're going to be able to save them? And the AVMA does a study for new veterinarians in their demographics book. I think it's called the handbook, Demographics Handbook. And they talk about how many people are in a community based on state that have a pet under the age of 1 year. So that means they would have gotten them within that last 12 months. So that means that that's a new home that doesn't turn over. That's a number of new homes that are available every year. And so 75,000 people have a pet less than 1 year of age. How do we get our pets into those homes? And if only 25% come from shelter and rescue, again, we've got a huge opportunity to just compete with these other sources, marketing, making people more aware, trying to get them into our shelter. And people are spending more and more on pets, which means they're more and more valuable.